Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room, everybody. What's going on? I am Mistress Carrie, and this is episode 126 of Cocktails in the War Room, our happy little accident that started on March 14th of last year to help us weather the craziness that is COVID-19. And 126 episodes in, this is where we are. Every Tuesday night at 8:30, we go live from my war room, which for anybody that's new to the war room family is a room in my house that is decked out with all of my military paraphernalia. And most importantly, it's where the bar is. So welcome to the war room tonight. Cheers, everybody. Wednesday, my co-host is around someplace and we will talk to her in a few minutes. But as you guys are very well aware, through the evolution of Cocktails in the War Room, we now have the technological ability to bring in guests. And every so often, we do that. I'm hoping someday to be able to bring these guests live into the War Room so we can hang out in person. Hold on, I need a cocktail. But until then, we have to do it virtually. And I was so excited when I found out that he said yes to my invitation, and I don't want to wait anymore. So without further ado, my guest this evening, Lajon Witherspoon from Sevendust. LJ! It's so good to see you.
Can you see me now?
Yes, of course we can see you. You look fantastic.
No, I don't. You look great. Thank you very much for even having me on your beautiful show. And it's, if anything, everyone knows that at the beginning of our career, I feel like you were there. And if anyone knows, you've definitely grown up with us. So we're family before anyone. So
I dug really this shirt out of the archives for you.
What is this? Oh my God. Is that the game?
Softball game shirt. I dug it. So one of the things.
Noticed that.
One of the things that started with the War Room back when it first started was just me on my cell phone. And so every night before we went live in the War Room, I would dig out some old concert shirt from my archives because I saved them all. And I have this big cedar chest. And I was like, LJ's coming on the show. I'm digging out the Dirty Birds jersey.
What a great day. We had so much fun with the guys in Godsmack that day. And I think I showed my not so well capability of playing softball. So
well, listen, if memory serves, it wasn't exactly a serious softball game. I mean, we had a couch behind second base. We had professional dancers.
I think we did a show the night before and maybe not had slept and 3 shots in before the first pitch was out. It was great though.
We had professional dancing girls in bikinis as the base running coaches. Like, we were not taking it seriously.
So you know what? Let me tell you, every time I thought about it today and I was so excited about talking to you, and I thought about it and I was like, you know what? That time in our lives, we were younger, which is great. We've grown, we've learned, and we've gone through different things. But for whatever reason, that time, it was a good movement. It felt like we weren't the biggest rock stars in the world, but we were stars in the world in our genre. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
And you made that happen for us. You made it happen for all of us. And all the bands out there know who I'm talking about that came through and hung out with Mistress Carrie. And not only that, just being able to be with you in making the album home and being in your energy and still being this young man and understanding like this is this new world. And this friend of mine that I've met, I didn't understand that you were going to be friends for life. You know what I mean? And it's just really cool to see you after everything in the world, and we have our hands dealt to us, and you're still doing this, and you're making changes, and you're letting people hear music, and that's what it's all about.
Well, it's adapting to this new technology now, right? I mean, it's like when WAF goes off the air, and so many rock stations are going off the air around the country. As you are very well aware, especially through the pandemic with the live stream concerts you have coming up, the rock community hasn't gone anywhere. How we gather together is changing. And through technology like this, through the podcast, through all of these other things, I'm still doing everything I was doing before, introducing people to new bands, you know, keeping in touch with the bands that we know people love already, having these great conversations, going to all of the shows. It's just a different way to do it now. I mean, the gold record you have behind you for the album Home, all those photos are from Loco Bazooka.
Yes, absolutely. Uh, wow, incredible. You're on the stage. I mean, you're definitely back there on that side of that stage. I mean,
You
what an
guys
incredible.
smashed a cake in my face because my birthday was coming up. Look at your wall.
I didn't have anything to do with the smashing of the cakes. You know, I'm a gentleman, but
Yes, I
I still
know.
think it was it was still.
If I'm remembering correctly, I believe it was Clint, who is not a gentleman, obviously, that smashed the cake in my face.
That's awesome. So I just think that what you're doing is amazing, and thank you for being like a very important force always since day one. I think it's really cool, and I'm very happy to be here again. And yeah, it's weird for us to be able to do these, like what you're doing right now, navigating in this obscure world that we're in. It's weird for Sevendust to show up in this this disclosed environment and do a live show, which we'll be doing this weekend again. And I'll fly out tomorrow and we'll see each other again. But it's been very safe and it's been working because it's only the band. Everyone has to be tested. It's a union run thing. So it's like
everybody's super careful.
If someone blinks and sneezes or somebody, might took you out and take you. But not that. But you know what I mean? It's very safe. And we've been very lucky. We all get to stay at Elvis's, our producer's house, which is now a studio. And we're the only ones there. So we go straight to the house, straight to the place to record live and then back, test, and then home. So it's been the way it has to be, but it's been working for us.
Well, I caught up with Morgan.
Put a bunch of people in a place and getting everybody sick.
Yeah, right? Well, I caught up with Morgan when his solo EP came out, and you guys had already done a streaming show. And I asked him what that was like, and he said it was really weird because when the song is over, there's no crowd noise, right? That you guys are used to this rabid wall of noise that comes at you from a Sevendust crowd. And I said to him, you now understand what it's like to be a radio DJ. Because for me, for 22 plus years, I was in that studio on the air, animated, telling dick jokes, doing whatever. And I never got any feedback from the audience back because I couldn't hear them.
Well, so I'll tell you, so it's weird. So tomorrow we'll rehearse and everything. And it's so weird because, the crew guys, they're our brothers. They've been with family. And, we'll do something and every once in a while you hear like a, yeah. It's like one dude. Don't do that. But you know what? Each time it gets easier and you try to really, try to touch the people, because that's what you're trying to do in a live setting anyway. And it's, it is really hard to do it, but that's what we have to do. And I feel like I'm like touching your grandma sitting next to the kid and the dad and everybody. And I want everybody to rock out. You don't have to mosh pit with grandma, but just stand up and.
But you could if she wants to. Just be careful of her hip.
Now, exactly. But it's been fun for us, and thank the Lord that we've had this this avenue to be able to do it with our team. We have an incredible Sevendust. The team has been incredible to work with for us to have this opportunity to do it. Like, 'cause I know a lot of people haven't been able to do it, so it's been great for us.
I wanted to talk to you about the albums that you picked this weekend because these live streams that you guys are doing, it's 2 nights. Mm-hmm. One night, it's the entire album Seasons, and the other night is the album Home. And that album, for all of us here in Massachusetts, we feel like that's our album because not only did you guys record it here, but you guys were a part of the fabric for the whole time you guys were in town. You were popping up at every other band show and you were popping up at the radio station unannounced. And, when I talked to Morgan, we talked about how I took you guys to the Red Sox game that day and like all these memories of the making. So when I hear that record, it brings up all of these other memories of that moment in time when you guys were locked in Longview Farm Studios recording that record.
What an incredible, like I said, it was a different time. It was a different feeling. It was a different era. Chino showed up. Skin from Skunk and Nancy,
Oh,
Dennis Brennan, the Brennans were there, Sarah Jacques and her whole family, and we just had so many, but it wasn't a lot of people, but the people that were there were so important. You know what I mean?
yeah.
For this, Toby Wright, the producer that did the album, and we
Justin.
lived there. Yeah, and Justin. Oh wow, you remember Justin?
He and I keep in touch on Facebook. He was like, "Did those guys hear the cover of Waffle that I did?"
Yeah, Waffle, yeah, that's great. I've been talking to his sister. Like, it's so crazy, but we were so young and so blessed to have been in such a beautiful, magical, I feel, energy and environment to write music and, to be a part of that. And thank you for being there. I remember every night being able to stay in my cool little cozy cottage right beside the horse stables. And it was so, I don't think anyone can understand it unless you had been there with us.
Yeah.
The things that went down and just the character about the building, the farmhouse, and just the wood, just everything was so crazy. It was so cool. What a great experience.
Well, I've talked to a bunch of people. I talked to Dez. I talked to Spencer from Ice Nine Kills. I've talked to a bunch of musicians that have recorded there. And
I
the
didn't know
ghost
Dez recorded
stories.
there.
Huh?
I didn't know Daz recorded there.
Yeah, that Cold Chamber record they recorded there.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I think
Wow.
chamber music, I think they recorded that there.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe back then it was a little hazy. But
So for me, it was like, okay, Sevendust is at Longview for like however many months. Then Cold Chamber was at Longview. There were all these bands recording there. So I felt like I almost worked there because
That's
you
great.
guys used to send me out to like go shopping for you guys because it was out in the middle of nowhere. And I would make my interns go grocery shopping for you guys. And then
Yes.
I'd get off the air at midnight and drive all your groceries out there. And we'd
Yes.
stay up all night.
Yes. What about the nature diva in the house where you would go eat at? That was a ghost.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you remember the whole story about that? It was nothing very scary, but it was still always like,
They made the best popcorn there too, I
oh
remember.
my God, everything was the best there. I mean, even the old school TV with the big screen TV that had the yellow, the green, the pictures, like the old school, like I think it was from the 70s.
Yeah. And like, I remember you guys recording Bender with Chino.
Yeah. Yes.
And like him making all these crazy noises, and Ian was there, and like,
What a great time. So tell me this. We need to ask Chino this. So I remember us taking out one of the horses in the stable, and he took a picture on one of the white horses. Do you remember that?
yeah.
So I don't know if the album White Pony came after that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Much after that. Yeah.
I
White
don't-
Pony came out in
Yeah. So
2000,
I don't know.
2001.
I'm not saying it had anything to do with it, but I was wondering if, I don't know, who knows? Maybe
Who
we should look into
knows?
that.
We
I've
can
never
ask
seen
him.
Chino on a horse. I've never seen him on a horse except for that time at Longview.
And like that was watching Skin from Skunk and Nancy sing that song because they were not a big band in the United States.
Not at all.
And you guys brought her in to sing on that song. And I just remember being in awe of this voice that came out of this petite woman. And I was like, where does that come from?
Okay, let me tell you what's going on with that. So we play with them in the States. A lot of people don't know who they are. They've been in this movie, the soundtrack. I can't remember the movie. It was a great movie. I can't remember right now. Hollow Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, blew it up. Incredible. I'm like, we love this band. We need to work with them. Okay, we do some shows with them in the States. It's crazy. They're like, hey, we love you guys. Let's take you overseas with us.
Because
Cool.
you guys were a big rock band here, but
Yeah.
making that jump to go to Europe is a hard thing. And over there, Skunk and Nancy was a huge band.
It was like the Beatles versus Michael Jackson. There were people waiting for a week at a time at arenas that we would show up with Skunk and Nancy. It was the most incredible thing I'd ever seen. We did a video over in Germany, and they gave us all the love. But it was so crazy to see that band here in America not be as big, and then over there they were just amazingly big. So it was cool for them to take us over and for us to do the same thing. And I hope that when we come back and we're able to be safe in this world again, that we're able to help bands, and not just because you're heavier than this band and you don't sound like this band. I think music is music. And especially right now, we just need to come together and just play. I said, I don't care if it's a guy tap dancing and spitting in a cup before a Sevendust show. I'm buying his damn T-shirt. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I'm just ready for it.
It's been very obvious for the rock community. Obviously, everything going on in the world outside of music, as the world is doing everything it can to tear everyone apart. This comes up in the war room all the time, and it comes up in the podcast all the time. Did you ever imagine that the rock community would have the ability to be an example for inclusivity and for love for the rest of the world? Because we're supposed to be the outcasts.
Absolutely. No. Absolutely. No doubt about it. I feel like this is a welcome community. I wouldn't be in it for this long if I didn't feel that way. But there's always a few knuckleheads.
Of course.
That try to darken the shine on something that we've built. We built this city on, I don't care what you want to call it, rock and roll, metal, whatever. We could say all those genres, but we built this city. We're not going to let those knuckleheads out there take it down because they want to, you know what I'm talking about there. I think everyone knows what we're talking about at the end of the day. We can all be knuckleheads, and at the end of the day, we all know right from wrong.
Yeah.
No matter what. And that's it. And I don't think I've ever been this guy that's had to ever talk about anything like this, because it's always been about music. But now we have to not only look about the music, we have to look about the world and the way it's affecting people. So I just hope we can get back to someday where it's equality, understanding, a love. Music brings us together, and that's where I'm at. And I don't want somebody to come on your page and be like, oh, he's getting political, because I'm not getting political.
No, what I'm saying is that this community is that. I mean, you look at a band like The Who, you look at all of these female-fronted rock bands that have found this amazing footing in the last decade.
Right.
You look at the amazing rock bands that are out there.
Right.
They're representing every kind of group, but they all are welcome in this rock community. And I think rock right now is an example to the rest of the world. That's what I'm saying.
I love it. We've always been that way. But like I said, got a few knuckleheads out there that are making it weird. And you know who we're talking about. We don't have to go into it.
No.
But before I say that, we're going to bring this and everyone's going to just chill out for a minute.
Wait, it's Mr. Rogers. Wait, go a little bit to the other side. There is that Mr. Rogers? That's Mr. Rogers, right? Oh my God.
So this is at my bar, but let me tell you a story about this. So I got this as a gift, and I'm like so excited. I'm like, I love Mr. Rogers, right? And I'm in the bedroom, and the wife is in the bathroom, and it's dimly lit because she's there, and I'm way over here in the bedroom, and she remembers seeing it. I'm pushing each thing that he says, and she's like, stop. I'm like, what? She's like, don't do that. The kids are going to hear it. I'm like, it's Mr. Rogers. What are you talking about? It's Mr. Rogers. It's cool. She's like, no, stop it. And I push it again. It's like, everyone loves life and it's great. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I didn't realize she read the book and it was something in the book and he said something and it went to the point to where it said, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it sounded sexual. But it wasn't. It was like you had to read the rest of it. So she thought Mr. Rogers was a gag joke that it was.
Oh, that somebody recorded nasty messages in there?
Exactly. And I was listening to it. I'm like, I'm waiting for him to say something weird. He never did.
Like those dirty Tickle Me Elmos that got bootlegged. Remember those?
Mr. Rogers. Everyone needs Mr. Rogers in their life. That's all I was saying at the end of the day.
Well, that's one of my favorite sayings all the time is that phrase about look for the helpers. You know, in a time of tragedy, always look for the helpers. And I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but how can you not love Mr. Rogers? I mean, come on.
I think we're warriors, Mistress Carrie, and I think we've been that for a long time. And I'm glad to be on your show. I think it's very beautiful. Hold on, wait. I just saw some people walk downstairs. Witherspoon! Turn the light on. Turn the light on the bar. Come here. Come on, please.
He's giving the order. The dad's giving the orders. Here, oh my goodness.
Say hello to Mrs. Carrie. Ashley Witherspoon. Come up here. Get up here. Say hello to Mrs. Carrie.
Oh my, you
Go,
guys
can she
are
see you?
so
Oh,
big. I see you
say
guys on
hi.
social media
This
all the
is Jeff.
time, but I can't believe how big they are,
Oh, yeah.
LJ.
Guess what? Here's Mama is even in here in her pajamas.
Hi.
Can you see me?
I can. What's
Yes,
going
yes,
on,
yes, yes.
Witherspoons?
You know, just relaxing right now. Enjoying being kind of quiet.
Get down. I love you.
Oh,
Me and Mommy are getting our shots tomorrow.
are you really?
Is that cool to say?
Yeah. I'm
What's
waiting
that?
for my chance to get mine.
Oh, we'll love y'all. We'll say goodbye to Mrs. Carrie. This is a longtime family friend.
Hi.
Say she's saying bye-bye. All right, he's saying bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Say bye.
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 Oh my goodness.
I said go to CBS.com. That's what we did. That's awesome.
No, because they have every state.
They have every state.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just
so
it's
we-
getting an appointment. That's all. It's just you got to
Yeah,
get
so
it. You got to get an appointment.
We were told to wake up at 6:45 every day. And then today, for the first time, we're
Well,
going.
that's why I love you. Thank you.
See?
So, we take our shots tomorrow. Oh my God, we take our shots tomorrow.
How has it been for you? Because Sevendust is such a road band.
Uh-huh.
How much has it meant to you? And obviously, the reason
can't
is
believe you asked.
terrible. How has it been being able to be home with the family so much?
Thank you for asking that question because no one asked that question. For me, because we are that band that has been away.
You're always
From-
on the road. Sevendust is a road dog band.
It has been the most enduring, special experience for me in my entire life. I think Mommy and they might even be ready for Daddy to get back out on the road. But
I bet.
for me, it's been incredible. You know, Carrie, it's you think about it. Even though we've changed it and shut it down, but I'm able to focus even more on them and to figure out, you know, and to that time that we missed. Now we're getting to know each other. You know what I mean? And I would never take it for granted. That's the better part of the lockdown, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just to be with them and to be daddy, to be a husband to my wife, to realize that we could have not made it, but guess what? I even love you even more. There's a few things that weird me out, just like me, but it's great. You know what I mean? Like she's like, I know I make her mad, but you know what I mean? But
I talked to Will Hunt
Uh-huh.
when they were working on the Evanescence record, and I was like, he had come in
That's
from
nice to see that
surfing,
too.
and I was like, hey, Will, how is it? He's like, yeah, they pretty much are ready for me to go back out on the road. Like I've been home long enough. They're like, when are you leaving again?
Oh, yeah, it's good. You know, we just actually, man, you know, we've been very blessed. We were able to go down to California and get away. We were there for a month, and it was good for Ash to be with her mom and the kids. Even though we did the same type of living, you know, not going anywhere and stuff was closed down, we did things privately and the mask and stuff. So it was still cool to be away from the winter and to be away from this for a year and to be there.
You
And
just got to get outside, and a new environment is good.
yeah, we stopped at the Rainbow. They let us in before anyone, the whole family, and we went in, took pictures. They fed us. Of course, we went to get the mozzarella sticks to go back to Rancho Cucamonga. We went and took a picture by Eddie Van Halen at
I was going to ask you about that because I saw that on your Instagram. How cool is that billboard, the mural
great.
they built?
Yeah, we made sure we just took the day. We stay in Rancho Cucamonga where we have a little spot with Ash's mom, and we just went down and we made sure that we did it early in the day. And we went to Rainbow at 11 o'clock. No one was there. The owner was there and was really tripped out that it was us. He was like, oh, this is really cool, which I think is really cool for them to notice me. And the kids were in the car waiting for us to get the mozzarella sticks, and no one was outside on the patio. And he said, bring them on in. And they all came in, and we got the mozzarella sticks, and we went inside again, and we took the pictures on the stair. And for me, being in the rock world and doing that, it's so fun for me to even have the opportunity to bring my family into something that's so important. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To see a part of something that's still an energy and an entity in this world that's going to go on forever, hopefully. You know what I mean?
How are they? I mean, before they were younger and really couldn't grasp it, but they've got to be at the age now where they kind of understand what dad does for a living. Obviously, the last year you haven't been able to do it, but I remember years ago Slash telling me that he would drive his kid to school and like his kid wanted him to drop him off down the block because the kid even Slash wasn't cool to his own kid. It was like, "Dad, come on, you're embarrassing." Like, how are the kids as they're getting older accepting what dad does for a living? Do they think it's
Or
cool?
Kingston rocks. Kingston loves it. He's cool. Jada thinks it's cool, but I think I come in a little too hot for her at times because she's kind of laid back, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm like, what's going on? What's up? You know. But I try to calm down. But she loves it still. She's very proud of her dad. I'm more proud of her, you know, and what they do. And I think that dad, I even feel like dad is not cool, as you know what I mean, because I'm getting old. I'm like, your dad's cool, and I'm like, am I?
They're like, but you're kind of not now, dude.
I feel like I'm cool. Yeah, exactly. I'm not. I watch stories with my wife, and
What
I'm
about
like
with
planning
music? Are
things.
you schooling them on the good
as I was.
stuff? Are you schooling the kids on the good music?
What do you mean?
Are you teaching them what's up? Like how much they got you listening to like TikTok songs and stuff? Like, are you teaching them about the good old stuff?
Well, so listen, I don't even know anything about TikTok other than what they show me. So guess what? Everything up in here is old school. What you talking about? They know about everything. Guess what? The radio records get played. I still call stuff Atari. If you look, I have an arcade here at the house, but in my bar area, I still have an old Midway game, probably about 20 games from Timber to Defender to all the old. We go downstairs and we have 80s night here at my house. How about that? What are you talking about?
I love it.
I'm old school.
I can't get my hair to do that stuff anymore, but
you're great. I'm so glad. You know, I think a lot of people can contest to this too. After this year has gone through, I feel like that I've grown a lot. I can never really ever take anything for granted in life, but I also have realized that there are people in my life that I could definitely not ever talk to again and be fine.
right?
Is that okay to say?
Yeah, I think everybody's taking inventory of what improves their life and what takes from their life without bringing anything else to it. And I think a lot of people are taking stock of like the negative forces in their life because everything's so negative anyway that when you notice people are negative all the time, you're just like, I just don't need that in my life anymore.
Right. Do what you do and be you. But like, I just want to be positive, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like my life's an open book and our lives are open books, but I don't wake up in the morning mad. I want to say hello and I want to say God bless you and have a good day, even if I'm having a bad day. You know what I mean? I want to, guess what? Because it's going to get better at some point.
Well, and I think we're all realizing too that tomorrow's not promised either.
Absolutely. And I think as I'm 48 years old now, Carrie, and so I'm like, wow, I've seen a lot of people go, and I still feel very blessed to be alive and to be healthy. Knock on wood. You know what I mean? Like, because we've seen a lot of our friends.
Well, you guys covered
should still be
Soundgarden
here.
last year. I mean, we lose Chris Cornell unexpectedly, and then Chester Bennington, and you start looking around at these people that you thought were going to be in your life or in their music, like part of your life forever, and then they're gone, and you're like, wait a minute, what? Thank you. Yeah.
Talking about like it's crazy, and so we're very lucky. Whatever who I don't care who you pray to. I'm not like this. We're very blessed to be able to continue to have a voice, to wake up, to smile, to do something good, to be positive. It hadn't been positive at all. You know what I mean? So this is something good. I'm looking forward to the new opening, to the new beginning to life, to the new music industry, to us playing with bands that we hadn't played with before, to us enjoying this life again and getting back. I think when it comes back and the doors open again, it's going to be better than it's ever been before. I feel like it's going to be a revolution.
I can't wait for the hugs.
Yeah,
Like, I can't wait to see you, because it's the first thing anytime I see you, it doesn't matter how long it's been, that we just give each other this giant hug. And it's like, I miss being able to hug people and to see people that I haven't seen in a long time and be like, I missed you so much. I love you. It's so good to like be with you. And it's different when you are kind of locked down with your family, right? Because you got the kids climbing all over you and your wife is there. But there's a certain amount of isolation for some people, myself included, that's come this year because my husband's deployed and I'm home.
Congrats. Wow. He's a superhero. So that's amazing. Congratulations. Yes. And
he wanted to marry me. So obviously there's a screw loose or two, but yeah,
he's smart. He's awesome.
But like, there's a certain idea that like you can go like weeks without physical contact with other people, that if you're locked down in a house by yourself, that you are just alone. And I mean, I for me have been so grateful for my dog. I mean, I gave her a camera on my video show because she's my co-host, but like having my dog around has meant the world, because sometimes I'm alone for a long time.
So this is a question I have to ask you. So then do you ever, I'm sure you do, because I do, when you talk to someone that you hadn't talked to in a while, you have to really ask them the question, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, not just, oh, hey, good. No.
Yeah, don't give me the automatic good. Like, seriously, how are you? Like, how are you handling things?
Yeah, some days are not, hey, guess what? I feel weird, like,
yeah,
I don't know how I feel today. But I'm making it, you know what I mean? So that's cool that you're grounded. And I always try to make sure that I ask someone that, like, really, you good? Are you really okay? I see that you're okay, but,
Well, that's one of the things that came from this show, is that this came out of the radio station being gone and out of my isolation, and the family here in the war room, the people that are watching us right now that are commenting like crazy. And I apologize for not getting, they're like crazy, but they have been that support group for me, because we get together every Tuesday night at 8:30 and we talk about the hard things. I can't tell you how many nights I've burst into tears on this show because life just got hard that day. Right. And it's been this amazing, that's why they call themselves the War Room family, because
I would love. I'm sorry, you finished.
No, it's all these people that have that same idea, that they are looking for a place where they can go, be surrounded by love, do positive things. We've done charity events. I sold Cocktails in the War Room t-shirts, mailed them all out of the house myself, donated the money to a veterans organization that was feeding veterans that are struggling to, get out, like immunocompromised veterans that are having a hard time feeding their families. Like, we're doing all this good and we're just finding a new way to do it.
So what you said, and it brought me back to an incredible time that I would never forget in my life. The only time that we were invited to do the Wounded Warriors was because of you. And we built that house.
Homes for our troops. That was Sergeant Pete Damon's house. That was the first house. I'm just saying, if you guys
are watching, I'm just saying, I don't play around.
Look at that thing.
That thing will take somebody out. I don't know. It's like, I don't know.
It looks like something out of Indiana Jones.
Oh, it is. For sure. Rubies and all. Okay, so
but you guys,
Indiana Jones, you're so awesome. I'm a mantiquer. That's a word that I made up. So. There's weird stuff in this bar. We could have a whole show just about that.
Brad Arnold from Three Doors Down did that, and we showed each other memorabilia that we've been given from the military, and we did a whole thing. And what else you got in there? Do you want to show me some stuff?
I mean, I got all kinds of stuff in it, but something that was taken down from the wall. I mean, it has nothing to do with the military. Oh, if I could show, I'll show you something military. But this is something I got to put back up. But this might be something cool for all the fans out there. This was presented to Ronnie Van Zant. And this was to Melody. His daughter gave this to me years ago. back at the bar, Three Birds that we played
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah, and she was like, "You can take that." I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" So after we got the new Sevendust Blood and Stone that I put up, I had to take this down. So I got to find somewhere to put it. I might put it downstairs. But since we're here and you said military, I'll show you in my bar because I'm on this little lap, whatever you call these computers, and I'll see if we can go around that wall. And you see those coins?
Oh, wow, nice coin collection, LJ.
That's probably that's not all the purple horn that I have.
Hold on, I can't hear you too good. We can see well, but I can't hear you very well.
That's even including the purple heart that I have in that, and there's another case too that I have downstairs. But yeah, hey, my troops out there, those experiences have changed my life.
Right?
I mean, being in Missoula, playing in a tent in a blown up building, being in Korea, everywhere. I mean, Abul, how do you say it? How do you say it? Absambul. We were all over the place with Sevendust and playing these shows, and those kids would come up to us, and I even remember one time a kid saying, "Hey man, I saw you guys at the House of Blues in Boston last year at the time that we were there," and he's got a gun and getting ready to go out and fight, and saying, "I can't believe you're here," and I'm looking at him like, "I can't believe that you were in the front stage." In the front row of the Sevendust show
Just
last
home
year.
being a regular rock fan.
And you're getting ready to fight for our country in
Yeah.
another world. God bless you. Thank you. Changed my life forever. So
Yeah.
the War Room is a place that I would always be happy to be in.
Yeah. I mean,
You know,
you were saying the same thing that so many, I mean, just this past week on the podcast, Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick came on
Oh, hey, wow.
and was talking about the USO tours that Cheap Trick did. You know, Brad from Three Doors Down talked about the same thing.
Right.
Brent from Shinedown talking about what those USO tours mean and what it's like to be on a stage and look out and see a crowd full of rock fans all in uniform, guns on their backs. There's no better rock show
Ever.
ever.
And you know that it's a taste of home. It's the most incredible, and that's what I always heard. Like, for the first time, they might have a makeshift Burger King and Taco Bell, and all of a sudden you got Sevendust or Shinedown. It's like, oh wow, this is weird. This is really it's so incredible, and I hope that I hope that it doesn't have to happen. But if there's anything ever like that again that we have to do, I will be the first person in line to do it.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize is when the bands get asked to do those tours, the USO helps to facilitate the logistics, but the bands do those shows out of their own pockets.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah.
And they don't get paid to do those shows. There's a lot of expenses to get your crew and your gear over there. And the bands just do it, and the band should be commended for doing it. And that is why the fans are so grateful, because you guys just are like, wherever we need to go, whatever we got to do, we're there.
It was not a problem, not a headache, not a worry in the world, even to be in a place where you felt unsafe. You knew you were doing something incredible. And it was, for me, it was I don't know, the whole time I was there, it just felt incredible. Just every day waking up, I felt like I was doing something that was important.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It felt like we were helping. So again, I think the War Room is really cool, and I think I commend you for doing this, and I think this is very special, and I hope the best, and I know it's going to be big because you've always done nothing but the biggest and the best.
Aw,
And I love you,
thank
Carrie.
you. I love you too. And I wanted to have you on, so we're going to put in a final plug for the live streams this weekend. If you go to mistresscarrie.com,
I'm flying out tomorrow morning.
I know you're busy. So go to mistresscarrie.com, go to the events calendar. I've been putting all the band's live stream shows up on the events calendar because there's no real shows. And the links to buy the tickets are up there. So you can see Sevendust do the full album Seasons one night and the full album for Home. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm tired already.
Right?
So, yeah.
Some of those songs you haven't played in a while.
We had, I've been rehearsing, and we'll rehearse and stuff tomorrow all day long. But it's gonna be fun because we did. So listen, we did the home album in its entirety. I think it was 2 years ago for New Year's Eve in Atlanta, but that
Yeah.
was the only place that we've done it. So that is not going to be too hard because even though it's been 2 years, still, you know what I mean. Music is music. You
Yeah.
get back, it's like riding a bicycle. So I'm excited about it. And Seasons was one of my favorite albums to work with Butch Walker, and it's gonna be fun just to see the guys talk about what's been going on. And even in that little small time, you still kind of feel the energy of everybody out there because you know that you've been getting the feedback about the people watching it, talking with you. So we go in at least thinking that, all right, we, hope they're going to be there. They're going to be there. So we're going to give you guys the best show that we can.
Jim has a question before I let you go, LJ.
Oh, wait, you forgot about the questions. What's up,
Yeah.
Jim?
Jim wants to know who's going to sing Skin's part of Licking Cream.
Oh, good question. Can't tell ya.
Oh, is there surprises?
Oh, it's going to be good. I'm so excited about this. This is good. Yes. Yes, this is a good one. Hey, Jim, that's a good question, man.
It is a good question.
Because, we could have said, no, we can't do that song. But this is a surprise. I'm really excited about it, you guys.
There's a lot of love coming from veterans that thank you for doing those USO shows. There's a lot of people just talking about, somebody messaged earlier that they think of Sevendust because their tattoo artists listened to Sevendust while they were getting tattooed. So that the music reminds them of getting their tattoo.
That's a good memory, man. That's a
Yeah.
good memory because I put things like that to music too. So hopefully you like that tattoo, my brother.
Steven wants to know if you're going to do Angel Sun, which still to this day is one of my favorite songs in the world.
Oh, yeah. Angel Sun is definitely, that was on home, right? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I love that you don't know.
Yeah, no, we have a million songs, man. I'm sorry.
I know.
Angel Sun. Yeah,
Everybody just wants to make sure that they're sending you love. And before I let you go, because this is the last question, because I know you got to go.
I'm hanging out with you in the war room. I'm
All
fine.
right.
But let's go.
You
Let's
and your
go.
family have been through a lot. And I want it, without getting into everything, I want to know, could you feel all the love everyone was sending your way? Because the rock fans, we're all in this community, and sometimes we wonder if you guys, the bands, are feeling the love that we are sending your way, because in concert you can, but when you can't tour and you're stuck at home and things are hard, did you know that we were all there loving
Absolutely.
you? Okay.
Absolutely. Let me tell you what. And I feel like with that situation, and without having to go into it in detail, everyone knows. And I feel like things in life happen and we're not expecting them. And then I feel like when it happens to you, you're not expecting. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe it's happened to us and it's happened. But then people that are friends and family can't believe it's happened to you. It's never happened to them. So they don't know what to say. But definitely I felt the love. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I felt the love and I felt the energy. And thank you for everyone, because it's still hard, and I feel like God has a plan. And it's something that, like I feel in life, there's all these obscure obstacles in front of us and we have to kind of go around them or get across them, but we can't stop. We have to keep going. And I feel like that's the test that we've been put upon us. And it's been hard.
There are lessons that we're all learning right now.
Absolutely, Carrie. And wow, it's been crazy. Yeah, but thank you for all the love. And I think that was another reason why we went to California for so long, is to get away and to kind of, because in February that baby would have been here.
Right.
And, and so.
But it's everybody is being tested right now in whatever their life is, they're getting tested. And we're all learning, who we can count on and who we can't, like we talked about.
Yeah.
But we're also learning that nothing lasts forever, in a good way too. That the pain also, with whatever pain you're feeling, like I know last year, losing my AAF family, it's not the same thing as the loss you suffered, but losing something I loved, that I poured my heart and soul into for all those years, and losing that community, the emotional cliff that you go off of when you're in grief and the depression and the people that lift you out of that are there to support you, make all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. And I think our community out there and love and support. But think about this. How crazy has it been? And we're still here. And a lot of people, and I feel so bad for the people that couldn't make it through it, and for all the ones that have made it and have kept strong and keep going, because we can still make it through it. But a year and a half ago, or however long ago, at a blink of an eye, everything changed. Like, we're the last people to actually get ready to go back out. So thank the Lord that we have the support from all the love from people like you that keep this flag flying. Because guess what? Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, damn, am I that guy? And do I still sing in that band? Or, you know what I mean? Like, somebody's like, I went to the grocery store today. Like, man, you still in the band? I'm like, I think I'm still in the band. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. You know what I mean? So
well, my last name was from WAF for 29 years. Mistress Carrie from WAF. You lose that part of you and you're like, who am I now? Right.
I'm like, yeah, I'm still that guy. I love writing music. I love singing and everything. But you haven't seen me. So you don't know. But I'm still as passionate as, I'm like, yeah, I'm still that guy. Cool.
Yeah.
Can I get that slide? Can I get some bologna? I don't know.
You're still the guy I remember that promised me someday I would eat Thanksgiving dinner off your abs, and it never happened. And now you're a happily married man with a beautiful family and no Thanksgiving dinner for me, LJ.
Hey, guess what? If you don't get me choked out by your husband, we can do it. We'll just have to shave my stomach down a little bit, and we'll make it smaller than, the whole Thanksgiving dinner. We'll just put like just a sandwich.
I just remember you back in the day when we had that conversation the first time, because we were partying after Ozfest, and you were so worried about the temperature of the gravy.
I can't believe I got gravy tonight for dinner. I did. I got gravy for dinner tonight. That's so weird. You were
like, you can't have the gravy too hot. You're going to burn me. The gravy can't be too hot.
Yes, I think it's weird because that's so weird. I got gravy because it was special at Price Chopper. And I was like, she said, would you like the white or the dark? And I was like, the dark. I love you.
I love you, dude. It was so good. I can't see you in person, but being able to see your face, like, it makes me so happy. Everybody is so grateful that you joined us in the War Room tonight.
Oh, thank you guys. I mean that. It's a pleasure. And Carrie, a lot of people, I can say that are friends. I feel like you're definitely more your family. You've been there since the beginning, and you're still there, and I love you.
I love you.
You look prettier now than you did back then when we were kids. It's awesome. That's a good thing, Mama. Because I've seen some of our friends, they're barely hanging in there.
Listen, there's a lot of bad miles under these tires, but
I hear you, Mama, but you're doing good. And hey, God bless you on this show. And please have me back again. I would love, and if you ever feel comfortable enough to come and stay with me, I have a farmhouse you can stay at.
I would love to come and visit you and to do, promise me that when you get ready to release your solo record.
Yes. Oh, wow. Yeah.
That we're going to sit down and do a podcast episode.
I would love to. Okay. And I can't wait for everyone to hear that with Sahaj from Raw that everyone knows. It's incredible. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming out. Thanks for even saying that.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear the solo stuff. And I want to be able to dig in the dirt with I want to crawl around in your brain for a while, but I'm not going to make you do it tonight.
Freak you out a little bit, but it's
That's all right. That's all right. All right. I'll let you get back with the family, honey. I love you. And everybody can watch you this weekend. 2 Sevendust live streams. Get the links on the events page at mistresscarrie.com. All right. Good night. I'll let you off the hook. I'll talk to you soon.
Tell the man I said hello and be safe.
I will. And tomorrow when you see the guys, will you please give them all big hugs for me?
I will. We'll do a social distancing and
the elbow thing. Just rub elbows with him for me.
Right, there you go. I'll see you, sister.
All right, bye, honey. We'll see you later. Awesome. There he is, guys. Lajon from Sevendust joining us here in the War Room. I hit the wrong button. There we go. Seriously, how much do you love him? He's amazing. You can't not smile when you talk to LJ. Alexis, you're totally right. What a great guy. He needs to be there live. William, I would love to get him here in the War Room, but I'll take him via Skype anytime. If you missed the interview, obviously the video will go up on my YouTube channel later on tonight. And then you'll also be able to check out the audio of the interview will go up as a bonus episode, as an after action report on the Mistress Carrie podcast as well. So this was so uplifting, says Walter. Absolutely. He's one of those people. Like, I love the fact that you guys, through the War Room and through the podcast, are getting let into these amazing friendships and these conversations with these people, so you understand why it is that I talk about them the way that I do, because they're just such amazing, gracious people. And he's such a humble, kind of quiet, understated guy. And then you go to a Sevendust show and he rips his shirt off and he's screaming, and like, he's awesome. Love him, says Christine. I couldn't agree more. He was a hug we needed. Absolutely. When is the solo album coming out? Ed, he doesn't have a release date yet. He's actually working on it right now. But I know he's been working on it. And as soon as they announce a release date, he promised me that he's going to do the podcast and might even give me an exclusive on the record. So I can't wait for that. So he's got great energy, says Joe. Absolutely. Let's see. My favorite interview so far. Thank you, Kathy. Please go get Rob Zombie next. I would love to have Rob Zombie in here. A ray of sunshine, Christy. I absolutely agree. I missed you fuckers last week. Welcome back, Keith. His kids are so cute. Trina, I couldn't agree more. It's just the whole Sevendust family is just amazing. All of the guys, all of their families, they're wonderful. Elsa, my garden is good. Only peas are planted right now, but mint and green onions and scallions are growing in. So it's a little early. Jim says Sevendust have some of the best live shows I've ever seen. Couldn't agree with you more, Jim. They are one of the most prolific rock bands live. They are just phenomenal live. Their energy, their creativity, their synergy on stage, the way they interact with each other. And they've been through a lot over the years together. And the fact that they are all healthy, happy, still making music together, they're just an inspiration all the way around. Eric says his wife is beautiful. Eric, there's no way anybody's stealing her away from him. And there's nobody that's going to steal him away from her. Those two, I tell you, they are just amazing. Let's see. You deliver the goods, Mistress Carrie. Thank you very much. Elsa, I don't know where Wednesday is. She's around. I think she was upset because I didn't put her on camera right away. She was kind of running around here earlier. And then when I wasn't paying immediate attention, she kind of took off. So, all right, let's talk about some stuff. I mentioned Rick Nielsen while we were talking to LJ. So a little podcast recap from last week. Episode 43 was Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. What did you guys think of the episode? I thought it was insane. Some of the names that he was dropping and some of the shit he was talking about, some of the names he was dropping. To hear him like shit talking Paul McCartney and Eric Clapton, when he was talking about being in the studio and that Eric Clapton didn't bring the goods, I was like, what? Let's see. Happy Easter to Melissa. Thank you. Let's see. Rick was awesome, says Mark. Loved it, says Jared. Him ripping Paul McCartney was hilarious, said Mark. I couldn't agree more. Like, if you could have seen my face, I was like, because he's talking about Paul McCartney. Like, you guys know what a huge Beatles fan I am. And you don't have to be a huge Beatles fan to just have instant respect for Paul McCartney. But to hear a guy like Rick Nielsen be able to jab Paul McCartney as if he's not Paul McCartney is just hilarious. Let's see. He was hard to listen to, playing the guitar and talking all over the place. Danielle, he is that hyper all the time. And getting him to like I could see him when we were talking and he was up and moving around and a guitar. And he seems like somebody that is constantly moving and that is constantly with a guitar in his hands and like channeling it and writing music. He just seems like he's somebody that has a really hard time sitting still. And he strikes me a lot of like somebody like Perry Farrell that I've said it before, he just looks at the world different. And the creativity and the ideas, I think, are on a constant slideshow in his head. But she says, but great stories. Yeah. He needed to be mic'd. It was hard to hear him at times. Well, Thomas, that's because he was running around the room, like yelling, like grabbing guitars off walls and stuff. He's like being inside a tornado. Seriously. I was tired when we were done talking, but he is this legend. And I have been a Cheap Trick fan for so long that I was just like, oh my God, this is Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. Like, this is insane. Eric wants to know, does he have ADD? I have no idea if he has a medical diagnosis. It's pretty common for creatives, for very artistic people to be perceived as like being a little scatterbrained, because it's like they're constantly creating and they're constantly working through things. And fortunately for me, I'm lucky enough to be around a lot of creative people. So it seems really kind of normal for me because so many musicians are like that. They just look at the world a little different. And I'm always curious. You guys have asked me or heard me ask the question in the podcast about what does music sound like? Like, what does it sound like to someone when they're in the middle of writing a song? How are they connecting these ideas into what we hear as the final product, the song that we all recognize? And I don't have those abilities, so I don't understand it. Rick Nielsen, like when he said that he wrote the song for the Colbert Report, I was like, what? Like, he was all over the place. I know. I would have loved to watch this interview, said Melissa. I know, and I will tell you that it's something that is in the future plans for the podcast to be able to bring the video as well. And I'm hoping that as concerts start back up again, that I'm going to be able to do these interviews in person, whether I get them here in the War Room, whether they come into MCHQ, or whether I go backstage at the shows. And the video component of that is definitely in my future plans. Brianna says, Eric, I have ADHD. And I'd say, yes, that's what I'm like inside my head. I don't know. I'm not a medical expert in any way, shape, or form. I just have so much respect for creative people that can just come up with this idea, this lyric, this melody, this whatever in their head, and be able to bring that idea from its infancy, follow the idea through either by themselves or with a producer or bandmates or whatever, and then to be able to have this beautiful piece of art to show for it at the end. I have so much respect for people that can do that. I got his vodka and it's signed completely unexpected. No way, Melissa. That's awesome. His vodka's in here, as a matter of fact, and it's delicious. The Flame is my favorite, says Jeff. Yeah, I mean, there's so many Cheap Trick songs that I absolutely love. So that's your recap. If you haven't gotten caught up, episode 43 is still out there. Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. I want to introduce you to who is going to be on this week's podcast episode. You may or may not recognize his name, but you know his music. Todd Whitener, who is this guy right here. Todd was a member of Days of the New, a member of Tantric, and now a member of, hold on, this auto-corrected and it spelled the name of the band wrong. Because autocorrect does that all the time. The name of the band is not Blitzkrieg, it's Blisskrieg. So I had to fix it up there. It keeps autocorrecting to Blitzkrieg. So to fill you guys in, when the guys in Days of the New were teenagers, still in high school, they got their record deal. And you will hear in this week's episode that WAAF was one of the first radio stations to play them and helped break Days of the New while they were still teenagers. When the band kind of broke up and Travis Meeks started having a lot of his issues, the band, just like Rage Against the Machine, bringing in a different vocalist and becoming Audio Slave, Days of the New became Tantric with a different singer. Tantric was out for a while, and then, as you'll hear Todd talk about in this week's episode of the podcast, he kind of took a break from music for a while. He took jobs outside the music industry. He was working for some other like country acts. And then kind of on a lark, he connected with a singer whose music he had loved from a band called Submersed. And they put Blitzkrieg together. So the band that you're looking at in that photo are all of the musicians from Days of the New and from Tantric, but with a new singer. And they're called Blitzkrieg now. Their debut album came out in February. And you guys are going to love Todd. He is such a genuine guy, lives in Nashville, has amazing stories, and talked about what it was like to be a teenager, kind of thrust out of a cannon. That one minute you're part of this band that, you know, you started with your teenage friends, and the next minute you're touring with Metallica with the hottest rock song in the country, Touch, Peel, and Stand. Melissa says, bands sound familiar, but I can't put my finger on any of the songs. Need to go and listen to the playlist. The playlist for this episode is great, but everybody knows Days of the New, Touch, Peel, and Stand. You can't listen to a rock station. I finally found a reason. I'm not going to sing the rest because A, I can't sing, and B, it's copywritten and I'll get in trouble. You know the songs. Just Google Days of the New, Touch, Peel, and Stand will come up and you'll go, holy shit. I love Days of the New and Tantric. They had a unique sound. Totally agree, Paul. The Chair in the Room. The Weapon in the Wound is one of my favorite songs. It wasn't a huge hit for them like Touch, Peel, and Stand was, but it is one of my favorite Days of the New songs. Yeah, Shelf in the Room. Yes, exactly. Not the chair in the room, the shelf in the room, says David. But the playlist is awesome. And I think Jeff says, my first Metallica show was with Days of the New, Danzig, Suicidal Tendencies. There you go. I love Touch, Peel, and Stand, says Tracy. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this conversation because it's not the normal trajectory in the rock world, you know, to get that level of success so quickly and then the struggle to kind of maintain it while you're going through addiction issues within your band and inner turmoil with band members. Yes, Moscow Mule Time, Michelle. Absolutely. So I'm really excited for you guys to get to know Todd and to hear all about Blitzkrieg and just hear about what life has been like for him. And, you know, I made him a promise that the next time I come to Nashville that we're going to get together and, you know, go to a bar and have a drink together and kind of get caught up, because just like with LJ, these are people that I've known for pretty much my entire professional career. I mean, I met the guys in Days of the New back in like 1997 when I was still driving the AAF van around. And to be part of this amazing journey through all of the Days of the New stuff, through Tantric, and now to be someone that can help introduce his new project, Blitzkrieg, all these years later, is really special for me too. So super excited for you guys to hear about Todd and Blitzkrieg, and it is episode 44, and you can get it starting at midnight. Of course, when you subscribe to the Mistress Carrie podcast, not only do you get the weekly episodes, but you also get the sit rep every weekday, Monday through Friday, all of your rock news, music headlines, entertainment updates, everything you need to keep you up to date in under 5 minutes. And I want to thank the sponsor, the Maine Hair Lounge. And of course, the Mistress Carrie podcast is available at all of these outlets and more: Apple, Google, Spotify, radio.com, iHeart, Stitcher, Deezer, Overcast, TuneIn, Player FM, Podbean, Castbox, Podcast Republic, Downcast, Beyond Pod, Podcruncher, Bullhorn, Podkicker, Podcast Addict, Mozilla, Pandora, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Amazon, our friends in India listening on JioSavan and Ghana, and of course the Mistress Carrie podcast, sponsored by our friends at the Digital Federal Credit Union at dcu.org. So I want to thank them. And yes, still holding strong at 100 countries represented in the audience of the Mistress Carrie podcast. So pretty cool. Let's talk about some music headlines. I know the show's running a little late tonight, but I'm not going to shut LJ up. It just ain't happening. Don't forget, there's another U2 virtual concert coming up on the 10th. The new Cheap Trick album, In Another World, comes out this week. It comes out on the 9th. The Life of Agony documentary, The Sound of Scars, comes out on the 16th. The Sevendust live streams that we talked to LJ about are happening this weekend on the 10th and 11th. All of these live stream shows, the Life of Agony documentary, all those details are on the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com so that you don't have to remember everything. You just need to know that you can go there and get all the links. Another reminder that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame fan voting goes through the 30th. Those are all the rock artists that have been nominated. There's a bunch of other artists as well. But Rage, The Foos, Devo, New York Dolls, Iron Maiden, Todd Rundgren, and the Go-Go's are all nominated for induction this year. Dirty Honey's record is coming out on the 23rd. A reminder that the big gig was supposed to happen this month, and it has been postponed to April 30th of 2022. And that the new Rise Against record is coming out on June 4th. So there's a lot of music, a lot of live stream shows. There is a lot of music going on. And I'm excited because it's like, I feel like slowly we're kind of getting back to normal. Cheers to you, Michelle says. I'm drinking a Moscow Mule that the hubby tried to make for the first time. The trick is to get good ginger beer. I like my ginger beer super spicy. And fresh lime juice is important. And I am old school and drink it out of the copper mug. So let's see. Let's see. CRS syndrome, can't remember shit exactly. My birthday is Thursday. Well, let's talk about birthdays, shall we? Happy birthday to you, Annette. If you're celebrating a birthday today, you share it with Frank Black from the Pixies, Merle Haggard, and legendary singer Beverly Watkins. So those are the people you're sharing a birthday with today, if today is your birthday. I want to talk about the mail call, and I have a couple more announcements that there's a lot of cool stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight. So the first thing I wanted to do is go through the mail call. I got this letter, first of all, from Christina. Says, thank you for everything you do for the War Room family. I know this year has not been easy for you, but you never let that get in the way of putting on a great podcast for us. You truly are a blessing to a lot of us that felt alone and isolated while being in quarantine. Thank you. That means a lot. You gave us an outlet to come and just have fun and forget life for just an hour. I made a lot of good friends because of listening from the beginning, and I love your co-host too. I hope you have a great day. Thanks again. And P.S. I hope I make it to the MCHQ fan board. So I've told you guys here in the War Room, but the people with Mistress Carrie backstage passes have seen this in MCHQ. There's a giant cork board hanging up in my studio. And all of the letters and all the cards and all the notes that you guys send get tacked to that cork board. And it's getting out of control to the point where I might have to get a second cork board. But I can see it when I'm sitting at the console in MCHQ, and it just makes me, every time I look at it, like all of the Christmas cards and the birthday cards and Wednesday's birthday cards and just all of the stuff that you guys have sent is tacked to this big cork board. And it just reminds me of how amazing you guys are. And so, yes, your letter is making it on the fan board. Then I got this from, let's see, Gandolfini, Wolfie, and Trina Mariah Hilton, from Trina Hilton. So it says, to Mistress Carrie and Wednesday, Happy Easter, love Gandolfini, Wolfie, and Trina Mariah Hilton, from Trina Hilton. So there you go. So there's the card. You evil woman sent me 2 bags of these amazing, I know I'm going to open them because they're so freaking good. I know Easter's over, but these Dunkin' Donuts jelly beans are like unbelievable. And you know that Wednesday's birthday is coming up this weekend, which is insane. Oh, guess who's joining us? Guess who heard the package? Hello, co-host. Why didn't you want to come and hang out with me when I was talking to LJ? He wanted to see you. And then she got this. Now this is a dog toy, and it's a coffee mug that you pull, or the dogs pull these donuts out of. It's like an interactive, like toy for dogs, and they have to like struggle to like pull these donuts out of this mug, which is amazing. So hold on, Wednesday, let me get all these plastic tubs off, and then you can have it. She knows. As soon as the mail call comes, this little spoiled brat knows that you guys are going to spoil her and send her things. And as soon as she hears the wrappers, yeah, I say we send her some. Look for them at 7 Walgreens, and they were all out. Are you talking about the Dunkin' Donuts ones? Sorry, I had to do it. I didn't have scissors in here. So there's like 3 donuts. They're all attached with those plastic things that you got to pull off. Otherwise, she'll eat them. I caught her with a AAA battery last night that she found on the floor after I dropped a flashlight. Couldn't find the battery. Wednesday found it. So it's this mug, and there's a hole in the top. There's a hole in the side, and you stuff the donuts in it, and then she's got to like struggle. She's probably going to get her head stuck in there. Who are we kidding? Half off Easter candy. Joe, tell me about it. And there's squeakers in the donuts. Do you want to try and play with this? See these donuts? Here you go. Here you go. Want to play with it? Go ahead. What? Oh, you want the snacks because you heard. Watch. Look at, see how you just sat down? Because she thinks these are her cookies. No, these are Mummy's cookies. These aren't your cookies. These are Mummy's. She's just looking at me. Can I help you? These are Mummy's jelly beans. They're delicious. And play with this. This is for you. I'm choking on jelly bean. You guys are trying to kill me. Yes, they are so good. Those jelly beans they should be illegal. See, I didn't give Wednesday jelly beans and she just took off. All right, so I got a couple more things I want to talk to you guys about. So thank you for the amazing presents in the mail call. You guys are unbelievable. I want to announce the second Cocktails in the War Room Food for Vets box packing volunteer day. I'm choking on the jelly bean. It's going to happen on Friday, April 23rd. I have been going back and forth with Mass Military Support Foundation, trying to get a weekend day, but they hand out the food boxes on the weekends. So I put a thing up online. I've been asking here in the War Room, what's the best day? The most people seem to be available on Fridays. I know it's still a weekday, and I know there's people that wish they could be there, and we know that you wish you could be there. But we had to schedule a day, and we wanted to get to it. So it's going to be Friday, April 23rd. If you go to the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com, you will see it on the calendar. There is a link that goes there to the registration page that they have. And basically all you have to do is register for either one of the volunteer windows. Usually they take volunteers from like 8 to noon and then like noon to 4. Just get a volunteer window and come when you can, because we're going to take over the whole day. Let's see. Where's the ducking stingray? Joe wants to know. It's in the other room. I'm in, says Mark. I'm so in. What time? The other Mark wants to know. Well, I mean, we started at like 9 o'clock last time, and that seemed to be really good. It gave people a chance to get there. If you can only come for a couple hours, it's totally cool. If you can't come till after lunch, totally cool. We ended working around like, say, 3, because we got in there and like got right to work. We did take a little bit of a lunch break, but there were so many of us, and they know how hard we work now, so they're going to be ready for the army to show up. So you got to get in there and register, though, because we need to have an idea of how many people are definitely coming. So figure out your schedule. I wanted to give you guys a ton of notice. So you got almost 3 weeks. It's going to be on Friday, April 23rd. Wear your Cocktails in the War Room shirts. so that we can take amazing pictures, wear funny hats if you want. We're not wearing Santa hats this time because it's not Christmas. So just wear your cocktails in the War Room gear and meet us there. Did you get the t-shirt I sent? Ralph wants to know. Ralph, there wasn't a t-shirt in the mail when I checked it, and I went and checked it today just to make sure. So William says I'm in Texas. William, you'll be there with us in spirit. Lindsay says that's my vaccination day. Well, Lindsay, get vaccinated. Go do your thing. Just signed up. Brianna wants to know. Penny says I'll be there. Melissa says I sorted food while I was there. There's plenty of jobs. There's, opening up all of the pallets. There's, creating the actual boxes. If you can't stand up for long periods of time, you can sit at a table. They can be totally accommodating. They just want the volunteers. I will tell you this, wear layers because we don't know how the weather's going to be, and it's a big concrete warehouse, so it can be chilly or it can be really warm. Obviously, wear your mask. And I would also wear like some working gloves. We're in a warehouse. These cardboard boxes have been on forklifts and in trucks. And as we're packing through pallets of canned goods and stuff, your hands are going to get dirty. And then obviously because of COVID, we want you to wear gloves. So bring a good pair of gloves and protect your hands. Let's see. I live in West Texas. Well, William, you will be with us that day. Let's see. Day after the second vaccination for me. Well, Tracy, if you're not feeling up to it, don't worry about it. This isn't going to be the last one, but so many people have been asking when we could do this again, and I wanted to get a date scheduled. And so this is when it's going to be. Would love to go, but my son tested positive for COVID yesterday. So far he's doing okay. Just praying my husband and I don't get anything. Well, Kim, just be really careful. You would not be the first person that I have heard that had a family member in the house test positive and had the rest of the family never get it. So just be super careful. Let's see. Team Purple is going to top our previous box count. Carrie and I hauled ass. Brianna, we totally did. We packed a ton. I think I packed 100 boxes. I can't remember how many boxes. It was like 60 boxes or something. Be there in spirit because you pack them 4 at a time. So it's pretty easy to rack up the numbers if you hustle. Sending prayers for speedy recovery, says Alexis. Thinking of you guys, be well, says Donna. Obviously, everybody here in the War Room is sending you guys love. So I hope you guys can make it. Like I said, you got plenty of time to sign up. So it's not going to be till April 23rd. See if you can get your company to let you volunteer on company time. I know a lot of companies do that. So check and see with HR if your company does that. We are going to be fully COVID compliant, so you don't have to worry about that, but it's going to be a good day. Couldn't wait to show you guys this. They are on the way here. They will be available in the online store very soon. Everybody with the backstage passes has already seen these. Can't wait to show you any more. Onesies. And I'm realizing now that these pictures are small, so I'm going to try and make them bigger for you. Let me see if I can make them. I wanted to get these made and available before, hold on, let me move this around. Sorry about that. Before Mother's Day. So the top one says, "My mommy rocks like Mistress Carrie." The bottom one says, "Made in lockdown 2020." Because how many people do you know are having a baby right now that was made in lockdown? The baby onesies are going to be available very soon. Hopefully before we meet again in the War Room next week. But if not, I will let you know next week when they're going to be available. But I couldn't wait to show them to you. Who doesn't want black rock and roll baby onesies for kids? They're going to be available. The My Mommy Rocks one will be available from size 3 months to 24 months. And then I think the Made in Lockdown one is going to be available, I think 3 months to 18 months, because kids that are over 24 months weren't made in lockdown. They'd be lying. So they are cute, Ashley. Thank you. Where's the boxing of the trucks, Marcy? I'm not sure what you mean, Marcy. A great way to spend some stimulus cash. Oh my God, so adorable. Yeah, they're super cool. Grandbaby number 2 is on the way in August. Just found out it's a girl. Congratulations, Melissa. So I couldn't wait to get these onesies produced and made, and they are really cool, and they're going to be available on the website very soon. So super excited about the baby onesies. Let's see. I've been using the people with the Mistress Carrie backstage passes to like ask for opinions and what they thought. There's more baby onesies coming, but I wanted to get these two printed in time for Mother's Day. And of course, if you're wondering where you can get a, oh, why is it like that? Sorry about that. What the hell is going on? So for everybody that has Mistress Carrie backstage passes, they have been helping me a lot. If you don't have one, you can get one. Just go to Patreon or go to mistresscarrie.com and click the Patreon link. Every month, you get a different discount code. The April discount code is going to allow you to get discounted baby onesies when they go up online for sale in the store. So for everybody that has backstage passes, you're going to get a discount code as soon as those go up. And we always have a live stream that's exclusive to backstage pass holders. We will set that date coming up later on this month. So if you want a backstage pass, you can get one. Want to say hello to everybody that has them already. And let's see. Mark says 24 months equals 2 years. We don't do math here. Yeah, that's why I didn't make the made in lockdown ones that were that big, because 24 months you weren't made in lockdown. You liar. Check the event calendar on mistresscarrie.com for all of this stuff. Brianna just put the Food for Vets link sign up here, and more of the details are up on the event calendar. So do you have the 100th backstage pass sold yet? Nope, not yet. It's a constant fluctuation. Some people get them and then it expires because it has to be renewed every month. Then new people come in. So we haven't gotten to 100 yet. So we'll see what happens. How can I get your design of your two logos, not your show? Your design of your two logos, not your show. I'm not sure what that means, William, but we are working on all kinds of new stuff, which I'm pretty excited about. Maybe a very big baby. Donna, you know what? You're right. Maybe a very big baby was made in lockdown, and it's totally possible. So if people complain that it's not available in big enough sizes, we can probably get some more made. So need a onesie that says Nana Rocks. Totally agree, Annette. It's a work in progress. I'm working on it all. Just a reminder of where you can find me on social. All of these places: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Cameo, YouTube, Patreon, of course. Everything is linked on mistresscarrie.com. And if you tuned in late tonight and you missed Lajon from Sevendust, you'll be able to watch the full episode here on Facebook. You'll be able to watch it on my YouTube channel if you don't have Facebook. And if you want to just listen to the interview, it'll be available as an after action report, as a bonus episode of the podcast tomorrow. So there you go. Baby ate too much in lockdown like the rest of us, says Trina. So there you go, guys. There's the episode. We ran a little late tonight. I'm sorry, but having Lajon on, huge thanks to him. Don't forget the Sevendust live streams are on this weekend. And coming up at midnight tonight, of course, episode 44 of the Mistress Carrie podcast, sponsored by Digital Credit Union at dcu.org, is Todd Whitener from Blisskrieg and Tantric and Days of the New. So there you go. All right, guys. Thank you once again for everything, all your love, all your support, all the amazing treats, for signing up for the volunteer day to pack boxes for Food for Vets, and just all your love every Tuesday night at 8:30. I love that you guys join me every week and that you're listening to the podcast, and you guys rock. So I will see you guys next week. Check out the podcast. Let me know what you think. Good night.